Hey everyone, it's Raheel. There's no denying that Houston is a great city, but even the greatest cities have issues, and some of the biggest gripes about H-Town focus around one thing: the roads. From traffic to potholes to distracted drivers and lane cutting, we're airing all of our frustrations in today's special team chat featuring the godfather of sports radio in Houston, John Granato, and newsletter editor Brooke Lewis. It's Thursday, May 18th. I'm Raheel Ramzanali, and here's what Houston's talking about. Oh man, what is happening? John Granato is on CityCast Houston. John, welcome in. I'm so happy that you are joining me on the podcast.
What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I knew I had to bring you in for this conversation, and Brooke is also a great person to talk about the roads. Brooke, how are you, first of all?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Okay, so the topic today is going to be a little bit more negative, right? We're going to be talking about the worst roads in the city of Houston. So before we get into the negative side of things, let's start with something positive so the listeners know exactly what we think is a good road in the city of Houston. So John, what's your favorite road in the city of Houston?
I don't have any favorite roads in the city of Houston. Who has a favorite road in Houston? There are none. I mean, honestly. Okay, Allen Parkway.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Allen Parkway or Memorial that goes downtown. Yep. That is usually always wide open. Usually, now the problem with it when you're coming from downtown is you got to get off at that Shepherd and Kirby deal right there. That's the worst.
Yeah,
that's the worst. But you can actually go down Allen Parkway or Memorial and get to there, and then you're stuck.
Yeah, for sure. I think, for the most part, it's just stretches of roads in the city of Houston that are favorites. There's not one full road. Brooke, how about you? Do you have a favorite road?
No, he took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say Memorial Drive. And now specifically where that land bridge tunnel is, that is so cool, guys. You got to go through the tunnel and you kind of feel like you're not even in Houston. I think that's why that road is so good, because you don't even feel like you're in the city anymore. You kind of feel like you've been transported somewhere else. But yes, you're back to reality if you have to exit at Shepherd. For me, that's Shepherd Kirby, because I have to take that exit to get home. That is a hot mess exit. That is a hot mess.
It's so bad.
They need to get rid of all of those lights between, when you take Memorial and between there and the tunnel, just get rid of those lights. You know, make some walking bridges or running bridges over Memorial. Yeah. Because that's all anybody does is ride bikes. You know, so why do you need all those lights there? Because it's just Memorial straight down.
That's it. My stretch is right after downtown on 59. There's like a 2-mile stretch right after you leave all that traffic on 59. Mm-hmm. You can literally go as fast as you want, and then you're stuck in traffic again until you reach Humble. But that's like my favorite stretch. I can just unload and go fast. All right, let's get into the worst part of Houston, okay? The traffic, the roads. So let's go first. What is the worst street that you hate driving on, John?
I have lived most of my Houston life on West Side.
Oh my gosh!
And right now by the train tracks at Drexel over there. It is,
yes.
It's the worst. It is the worst. I mean, they got one down to one lane. Now on the other side of the tracks there, they got 2 cops there. Right at my corner. I live right there. So they stop traffic for just to let some on a side street or whatever to come out. And I'm like, what are you doing? Westheimer is stopped. And you got a side road that you're letting people and keeping us. It's ridiculous. And even when there's no construction, Westheimer is ridiculous.
Yeah. How about you, Brooke? What's the worst street for you?
I just want to do a little aside on what he said, because I have to take Westheimer so much. And it took me 45 minutes or 40 minutes from Montrose to just like that Galleria part of Westheimer the other day from my house. It should take like 10 minutes or so, but because of the construction that's going on over there, it is a hot mess. So yeah, if you're trying to meet somebody just from Montrose to Westheimer area, you're going to have to allow like an extra 20 minutes or so.
So you know what else is a byproduct of that is Richmond going west at 4 and 5 o'clock in the evening. That light is so jacked up the way that they have the lights timed. If they would time the lights decently, then we could actually, but it is backed up all the way, sometimes almost to the railroad. It's unbelievable how horrible it has become. And then Westheimer's backed up as well. West Park, all of them. Now, the biggest reason for all of that, though, is because 59 South, that closure for 610 South, it's been a year. How long has it been? Are you kidding me? It's taken 3 years for them to open up an exit from 59 to 610. What is going on?
No, yeah, I totally agree. And Richmond is my worst road. So Richmond is the road that I've been traveling on for the last 30 years of my life. And like growing up, my parents would drive on Richmond because they don't like to take the freeway. So they would drive on Richmond to get into the city. And I just have all these memories of sitting in the backseat of their car, just bumping up and down, feeling car sick, feeling like I'm going to hurl, being in the backseat because we're driving on Richmond. But now I live in Montrose. And so I have to take Richmond a lot. And you would think that after 30 years, the streets would not be as bumpy as they were when I was a child, but they are just as bumpy, you guys. So I hate Richmond, but I still have to take it every day.
Don't we have any COVID funds left to fix the roads or something?
Yeah.
I just feel like we could do something there and fix those bumps, the potholes, maybe widen the lanes just an inch so we're not all up against each other.
Oh my God.
Just ridiculous. You know what? A lot of Heights streets too are just awful.
Yeah.
Just awful with the bumps. So we go to Grace Bible Church over there on 11th Street and near Ella. And it's just like, oh my goodness. I'm like, my wife is like, can you? I said, it's not me. It's not me. It's this road.
It's the bumps. Yeah, it's the bumps.
It's
and
so
you have to like just tighten your seatbelt a little tighter if you're on certain roads because you're just going to bump along in traffic.
Mine is going back to my childhood as well, Brooke. So my dad has a store on Harwin, Perfume Time. And growing up working at that store, Harwin is the worst street, from the bumps to the small roads to people just darting in front of you. From Fondren to Gessner, it is like driving in mines, basically. You're just like waiting for a tire to pop. I'm not even joking. Last month, 2 tires popped. My dad's tire and my uncle's tire popped because of the potholes there. And they never fix them. You just have to live with it.
Yeah.
If they did, it'd take forever, and they'd have a lane closed, and then you'd have to take another half an hour to get to wherever you're going. That's so funny, Brooke. Your parents, my mom would never drive on a freeway. We grew up in Chicago, though, but I remember she's going up the ramp, didn't realize she was getting on the freeway. She stopped and backed up on the ramp because she would not get on the freeway, and everybody's I was in the back seat. I'm like, oh my goodness, and take forever to get anywhere, ever, because she wouldn't drive on a freeway.
My parents are from Mississippi, so coming to Houston was like a huge, culture shock for them. And the traffic was insane. So I feel like they just kind of navigated getting around Houston using all these side streets and will only take the freeway if they absolutely have to. And so, I would add like 15 or 20 minutes to all of our drives. And so I feel like I just ended up hating Westheimer and Richmond and all those other side streets more because we were never taking the freeway.
Well, let's stick with freeways. What is the worst freeway for you, John?
Name one. I mean, okay, so 610 from I-10 to the Galleria.
Yes.
I got a system, where I get all the way to the right. I'm not telling you. I'm not telling anyone because you're going to do this.
Oh, you're a cutter.
So you get off at Post Oak and then you get back on and you can get off right away at San Felipe or Westheimer. You do this, but everybody's starting to do that now. And that's more crowded than 610 is. Yes. So the not all that bright person that they tore down 59 and they made the spur 2 lanes.
Yes.
It's going into downtown. What brain surgeon came up with this? Okay. From Wesleyan all the way to when it starts at Kirby usually and into the spur. It's always crowded. It's ridiculous.
That's mine. I think we can all agree 610 is the leader, right? Anywhere by the Galleria, it's the worst. Yeah. But mine is the 59 spur. It is the worst road, traffic, freeway. It just makes you want to leave the city. Yeah. It is so bad, from the cutting
it's the worst.
To traffic not working.
How many times have you just said, screw it, I'm going to take Travis and go back up to 10 or go to 59 or 45, whatever, and go through downtown? Who goes through downtown to avoid traffic? We do.
Yeah, because our city planners didn't think about this.
What idiots.
No, and GPS will take you through downtown because sometimes just to avoid traffic. And I remember meeting up with some friends the other weekend and it was taking me through downtown. And I was like, why am I in downtown right now? It's probably because it was so backed up that GPS was like, yeah, we're going to take you through these side streets.
No, absolutely. Taking side streets is better than taking the freeways in Houston.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's sad. Brooke, what's the worst freeway for you?
I'm going to have to say the 610 loop right around Galleria, because I also have to take that. That is my main way to get to Katy, to see my parents, or to go to church, because I go to church outside of the loop in Spring Branch area. And that is the only way, unless I want to just take side streets or Westheimer or Richmond, and we've already X'd those out. Yeah. So that's the only way to get there. And it is just like sitting in just full on congestion. And it doesn't matter what time of day you come. It doesn't matter, like you said, if it's Sunday morning, if it's just like a random weekday in the middle of the day, there's always going to be traffic there.
Yeah. Can we give some props to I-10 here? Nobody picked I-10, and the expansion of I-10 has done a great job of making it easy to use. Now, there is traffic, right, on rush hour, but for the most part, I-10 used to be a horrible mess.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's somewhat of a pleasure to drive sometimes.
Yeah. Well, 45 gets an honorable mention.
Yes.
Okay. Listen, I should have said one of my favorite roads is Hardy Toll Road. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's an actual toll road that you can use, and it doesn't matter when. Mm-hmm. Like now, if you use West Park Tollway, it's backed up from 99 all the way to Gessner, right? You can't use that going out at rush hour. You can use Hardy Toll Road all the time. I will never, ever, ever get on 45 because of the Hardy Toll Road. The 45 is about as bad as anywhere.
See that? The 1%, they live different. Yeah. They live different. They don't mind going on tolls. They're like,
no. It's worth It's worth not having an ulcer. Okay, I'm paying for not having an ulcer, Raheel. That's what I'm paying for.
The 1%, baby.
I know. It's so funny. We will complain about all the Houston freeways, roads, but then never get an easy tag. Like I still haven't gotten one because it's like, you know what? My Houstonian card is so that I can complain about the roads and do nothing about it myself. I'll just continue to complain and Brooke, not get the easy tag.
You don't have an easy tag?
I don't.
So, Brooke, you and I are totally opposite. I just went to Lake Charles this weekend. I drove, I don't know how many miles out of the way, just so I wouldn't stop, okay? I will pay you anything to not stop and track. I don't care. My easy tag bill is ridiculous, and I don't care.
I'm with you too, John. I've moved over to that side. Like I will pay whatever the easy tag bill is now. I don't care. I want to go fast and I want to get to my spot without any stress.
Here's the funny thing about me. If it takes the same amount of time to sit there or drive out of the way, but I keep on moving, I will keep on moving.
Oh, yeah.
I would rather than sit there and say, I'm not moving, I will drive out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Even if it's the same amount of time.
Okay, final question. What's an area, street, freeway that you'll avoid because of the drivers? Not because road conditions, not because of traffic, but the actual drivers in this area are the absolute worst.
I know what yours is.
Yes. Hey, mine's good.
I don't know that they're the worst. I think any freeway in this city, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And the stories of the road rage, and it's just unbelievable what's going on here now. My wife is so worried I'm going to die in a road rage. Not me, but I'm going to get somebody so mad that they're going to shoot me. No, she said, swear to God, she says, I will kill you if you ever get shot in a road rage because of how fast you have to go everywhere. I think it's all over the city. I don't have any one particular spot. I think it's all over the city. We got the worst drivers. I had my new car. I had 2 accidents in a month, and I didn't do a thing. And people are saying, well, you're the worst driver. A guy blows a red light, hits me. It doesn't have a license. But he's got insurance. Huh. I was like amazed. But if you don't have a driver's license, you shouldn't blow red lights. Okay, let's just have, okay, that's all I'm saying. But it's not any one particular place for me. It's everywhere.
How about you, Brooke?
I think Highway 6 for me. There's something about the drivers on Highway 6, and I think it's the conditions of Highway 6 that make people feel like they can just do whatever they want on that street, that I just avoid it. Because I also have a friend that's been in 2 accidents, like car completely totaled on Highway 6. And it's just because I feel like the drivers aren't following rules. They're just like speeding through the light, not stopping completely. It's a hot mess. I just avoid it. I don't want to go over there at all.
Are you talking about Highway 6 after Beltway 8 heading towards A-Leaf?
Yes. Definitely around Beltway 8 area. It's like something about that Beltway 8 area and Highway 6 that is just completely reckless that I just avoid it at all costs.
Man, I'm the total opposite. I used to take Highway 6 coming home from the Galleria every single day, and I loved it. But I also drove around 3:00, so not during rush hour. Mm-hmm. It used to be the best road. Like the lights were perfectly timed out. You get your distracted drivers, of course, but it was such a good road to drive on during the day, at least.
That's the thing, is the lights timed out.
Yeah.
If we could time out our lights when rush hour is going one way, you can hit the lights perfectly. I mean, if our city planners had any common sense, just do that.
How are we launching rockets and about to send a crew to the moon again, and we can't figure out timing lights?
Yeah,
What's wrong? Can somebody buy the light system and fix this? This is just not working.
Unbelievable.
I feel like we need 610 to expand the same way that I-10 did, but it's just going to hit the Galleria. So I don't know what we do, guys. I don't know what we do.
I think 610 is just going to be with us forever the way it is.
Instead, what we're going to do, we're going to put a bus lane in the middle of the richest part of the city where no one is ever on the bus at Post Oak.
I'm like, can we get that lane for ourselves? Like, I have no idea why that bus lane is there. I have no idea.
No one is ever on that bus.
Give it 2 years. They're going to convert that.
When are you going to talk about the Katy drivers, Raheel?
Because it's my turn now. The worst drivers, the absolute worst drivers in the city is anywhere in Katy.
That is so funny.
The Katy drivers are the absolute worst. Now, I have to drop our youngest daughter to daycare in Cinco Ranch, which is right by Katy. Mm-hmm. And I am like white knuckle driving because I don't trust any of the drivers. The distracted soccer moms who are trying to be on TikTok and trying to get Insta famous for dropping their kids to school, and they're distracted driving. Oh my gosh, it makes my blood boil. I can't stand Katy.
I'm always in Katy because of my parents. And actually, I find it pretty chill out here. I actually like to come out here because it's less crazy than Houston, except when there's an accident at Barker Cypress.
Yeah, that's bad.
It's actually pretty chill out here.
Okay. You and I have different experiences.
Highway 6, you two differ?
Yes, easy tags. We're just opposite Raheel, but we can all agree that 610 is absolutely terrible.
That's the worst.
Okay, if you want a taste of Katy drivers, Brooke, go down 99, exit Cinco Ranch, and just try to get into that shopping center by Trader Joe's.
Oh, yeah.
Then get back to me about Katy drivers, because that is peak Katy mom area, okay? Brooke, you had some emails from listeners, right?
Yes.
That you wanted to bring up about the worst roads. What do you got?
Yes, I already have some passionate newsletter readers that have some big opinions about our roads. And actually, a fellow Brooke wrote in about the stretch of town that I'm very familiar with. She says that people don't even use the right lanes of Westheimer, eastbound and westbound between Montrose and Bagby because of the pothole patches. She says it is just a waste of road. And then she also mentioned West Alabama, which honestly, West Alabama in general.
Oh my gosh.
Someone actually did a really funny tweet about, are they excavating like on West Alabama? Are they doing a full architectural dig on West Alabama?
They're drilling for oil.
Someone tweeted that, and I thought that was hilarious because that street itself, but she said between Stanford and Garrett on West Alabama is particularly bad. And she just also thinks that's one of the worst roads in Houston.
No, you can't go on West Alabama. It's I live right there. West Alabama, it's from Wesley into Kirby is shut down. It's the worst. It's unbelievable.
It's horrible. And they've been doing construction there for like ever. It feels like forever.
Yeah. And there's always 4 or 5 cops out there. Maybe we could wait, get off West Alabama when nobody can drive on and go, I don't know, stop crime. That'd be great.
Or maybe just use that money on more construction workers and they can fix their
Yeah, that'd be better.
Yeah, that'd be better. By the way, make sure you subscribe to Hey Houston, and you can send Brooke some emails about the worst roads. And of course, let us know as well. You've got all of our contact information in the show notes. John, thank you so much for joining us. Before we go, how can people listen to you?
ESPN 97.5 or 92.5 if you're out west where the drivers are terrible out in Katy. You can listen not at 92.5. But if you're out east at 97.5, me and Lance in the morning, 7 to 10 every Monday through Friday.
John, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you joining us. It's always a pleasure to chat with you, and I'm glad we had this therapy session together with Brooke.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. Nice to meet you, Brooke.
Nice to meet you. It was a great therapy session. I feel like I released a lot.
That was Hey Houston editor Brooke Lewis and ESPN Houston Morning Show host John Granato. Before we go, mark another win for Houston over Dallas because ExxonMobil's top executives are leaving Dallas and moving into their new corporate digs in spring as the company looks to cut costs and boost efficiency. A major portion of Exxon's U.S. employees will be located on the new 385-acre campus, which has space for about 10,000 employees. To see pictures of the new campus, click on the link in our show notes. That will do it for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something new. Test, John. Back. Let me text him to refresh. Should I tell him to refresh Riverside?
Well, if you text him, it's not going to work because he's on airplane mode.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, no.
Oh, Lord, this is a mess.